Hey guys, so in this tutorial I wanted to show you a concept called tritone substitution, something that's very often used in jazz and which I do a lot in my arrangements. So if we're in the key of C, let's do a 2-5-1 progression leading to C. So the 2 chord would be D minor 7, the 5 chord, G7, and then back to C. So again a 2-5-1 would be D minor 7, G7, C. Now this 5 chord, the G7, is also known as the dominant chord because it has a very strong gravity going to the root chord. It wants to resolve to the root chord. And these dominant chords, you can always substitute them with a tritone substitution. And the way you find the tritone is if you go from, if you play the root note G, and you go 5 steps in the scale, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you find the 5th interval. Now, and then you flatten the 5, then you get this tritone interval, which is actually known as the devil's interval. It has that, devilish feel. And from that tritone, you build a dominant on top. So let's do a D flat 9, 3rd, F, 7, B, and then the 9 E flat. So now we have a D flat 9. Now we can use that D flat 9 and play it instead of playing a G7. Let's see how that sounds. So our 2 chord, D minor, 7, and now D flat 9, tritone substitution, going to C. Sounds pretty cool, huh? It gives it a little bit more edge. Let's compare it to the regular one. So again, always when you have a dominant chord, you can use a tritone substitution. Let's do another chord progression and try it out. A very common progression in jazz is doing a 3, 6, 2, 5, 1. So let's do that. Our 1 chord is C. Let's do the 3 chord, E minor, 6 chord, and let's do it like this, an A7. Our 2 chord, D minor 7, 5 chord, G7, and C. So again, E minor 7, A7, D minor 7, G7, C. So as you can see, our 6th chord is now an A7, a kind of dominant chord, which leads to D minor. So instead of this A7, we can substitute it with a tritone. Again, if you go from A and you walk 5 steps in the scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you flatten the 5th degree, you get an E flat in this case. You build a dominant, E flat 9. Let's try that out. So let's play the 3 chord, our tritone, 2, 5, 1. And let's also substitute this G7 with a tritone. So then it would be a D flat 9. Then we would have this progression. E minor 7, flat, D minor, D flat. And as you can see, now we created a pretty cool bass line that's going chromatically down to C. So it's E, E flat, D minor, D flat, C. So let's compare the two. The regular 3, 6, 2, 5, 1 would be tritone substitutions. So let me show you that in context. Maybe you saw my video when I did the Ed Sheeran Thinking Out Loud jazz version. When your legs don't work like they used to before, and I can't sweep you off your feet, will your your legs. So there's one place where I use the tritone. So instead of playing, if I would play it regularly, it would be, if your legs don't work like they used to before, and I can't sweep you off your feet. But with the tritone, and I can't sweep you off your feet.